Hey, I'm Randall. This is Byte and Slice, a free learning lab for broke geniuses, tinkers, and digital outcasts. Here's the deal: we're building powerful tech tools using open source AI that runs fully locally. No cloud, no tracking, no creepy data pipelines, just raw horsepower on the machine sitting in front of you. Every Tuesday, I show you how to do it yourself, from setting up local language models and databases to troubleshooting hardware that corporate IT would rather you throw away. Every Friday, we lighten it up with food, pizza reviews, kitchen hacks, and the science of flavor because good code and good crust both require craft. Bite and Slice is about reclaiming your tools, rebuilding your world, and having a damn good time doing it. No gatekeeping, no gurus, just grind. Welcome to Bite and Slice. Pull up a terminal, grab a slice, let's cook.
Hello, and welcome to the first episode of Byte and Slice. Today, we're going to be running a Qwen3 model, which is an open source model. It's the latest generation from Alibaba, and it offers a comprehensive suite of dints with a mixture of experts. So we're going to be running the Qwen3 0.6 billion quantized, which means that it's compressed version. The reason for that is OBS crashes if I try to run something bigger. So let's get started. Here's what happened to me. I have a GPU, but it's an AMD GPU. Not great for AI work. So I also don't have the cash to replace it with an NVIDIA GPU. That takes money. So what I decided to do was install WSL, which is a Windows Subsystem for Linux, so that I had a clean development environment. And then I install Ollama on it, which allows for us to run models. And then I do it all on a CPU. So it's a tiny budget. So you get a lot of work out of it. It can do a lot of things for you, which we'll get into in further episodes, but without needing a ton of hardware. So without any further ado, let's get started. So first of all, you're going to want to open I already got mine open, but a Windows PowerShell. I'll show you how to do that real quick. You go start, you type in PowerShell, you right click and you say run as administrator. If you don't have administrator rights, this probably won't work. All right. So like if you're at work, maybe don't try it. Although I got mine to work at work. Anyways, first command we're going to run is WSL space -- install space -d space Ubuntu. Ubuntu is a Linux distribution. It's one of the most common ones. So whenever you have problems, there's a lot of community support. So you'll do this and it'll go ahead and install. It'll take a minute and then it'll have you reboot. So while that does that, let's look at the Qwen3 models. Let's go. This is the Ollama page. Qwen3, it has a cool little bear. You can go here and do everything. Now you can run Ollama on Windows. I just like to run it in Linux because later we're going to use Python scripts, and it's just so much easier in Linux to do all that. Okay, and we're back. It's installed. So let's see how it goes. So I went ahead and you go to the search bar, you type in WSL, Windows Subsystem for Linux, right click, and I pin it to my taskbar. That's just me. So you click on the little penguin dude, and it takes a minute the first time it loads up, and it will ask you to make an account. Now, you can use whatever you're using. It'll default to your Windows user, which is usually fine. What I would recommend is making a new one. 0 is what I like to use because I'm Sir Zero from back in the day. All right, now to ask for a password. Make a strong password, but something that you can type in easy because you'll have to type it a lot. For sudo commands, shit. Of course, make sure you type them right the same both times. Okay, so now we have a root account, which you don't want to use. You use the account you just made, but we have a password with admin rights. So we're going to use the sudo command right here to update the machine before we install Ollama. This will take a minute. So sudo gives you super user access for just this command. And apt update will update all the apps, and then update will download all the updates, and then upgrade will upgrade them, I believe. So let's go ahead and run that. Ask for your password. Like I said, you'll be typing that a lot during development, and it'll install curl. So we need curl to be able to pull down, or I'm sorry, this is installing the updates. Next, we'll install curl with the apt install command. And you don't need to know what any of this means. I mean, if you have questions, hit me up in the comments. Also, like and subscribe. This is a new channel. If you like what we're doing here, what we're trying to do. The long-term plan for Byte and Slice is to make a community that can start and found internet cafes that focus on digital education, cyber education. Like how to use a password manager, how to install these AIs, how to use these AIs, and also do electronic repair. And it'll serve pizza. That's how we make money. So Byte and Slice. Okay, so that's done. So now we got to install curl, which should go pretty quick. Also, a heads up, if you're copying and pasting these from the description, all these commands will be in the description below. All you have to do is right click and it'll paste it in. Because Control V doesn't usually work. You have to do Shift Control V. But if you right click, it pastes it in. Okay, so look how quick that curl installed. So now let's install Ollama. So this one's a little more in detailed. It has the Ollama install. So right there, I right clicked and it goes. All right, now that'll take a minute because Ollama is huge. It's like 5 gigs, but it's the secret sauce. It's essentially kind of like Windows was for operating systems. It is for large language models, LLMs. You can use any open source model with it that they have on their website. So just to give you for instance, there's a bunch of good models out there. Gemma 3's from Google. It'll run on a CPU. It has, I recommend you doing the 1B version if you don't have too great of a CPU. You can do 4B, but it's going to hang up a little bit. And then another interesting model that I like, I mean, there's DeepSeek, which I try not to use too much. I mean, I need to test it out, but Llama 4 is kind of a flop. Llama 3.3 I hear is better, but Phi 4 it's a 14 billion parameter model, but it'll run on my CPU and it's pretty quick. It's not a thinking model. Okay, so that's done. So next thing that we got to do, I'm going to use the Qwen3 0.6 billion quantized to 4 bits. Quantized means that it's compressed, and I don't know what the KM stands for. I assume it's whoever made it, whoever made the weights. So anyways, you just put that in there, right click to put it in there, hit enter. Oh, sorry, Ollama. I copied the wrong thing. I didn't copy the command. You gotta, helps if you copy the right thing. Ollama pool. Put that in, and it'll say pulling manifest, and then it'll download the model. Now this one's a small model. Like if you look, the regular Qwen3 model, 8 billion parameters. Let's go view all. Let's see, 8 billion parameter, 5.2 gigs. So you got to have some space if you're going to run big models. If you have a GPU, great, an NVIDIA GPU, you can run these models much more efficiently. Now the Qwen3 models only have a 40K context window. If you're not doing too much, they're great. It's a good thinking model. All right, so we've done it. We successfully installed Ollama. We successfully pulled down the model, the Qwen3 model we're going to run. Now all we got to do is do this Ollama run command. Bada bing, bada boom, right there. So it says send a message. So let's do some stuff. I'm going to show you how this affects my CPU. That's why I have this handy dandy task manager open. And I have a Ryzen 5 3600 6-core processor. It's a little older, but it gets the job done. So let's have it write a poem about Linux overtaking Windows, because I think that's going to happen one day. It already has an enterprise. So we hit enter. See how fast it is? And it's thinking. So it'll put thinking in these think brackets, which is kind of annoying whenever you got to parse it for stuff later. But right here's the poem that it made. The dawn of Linux. Oh, the era of Windows where power once roams, a beast of stem and steel with no end in its stream. Anyways, you can read it if you want. It's all right there. Let's try something else. Let's make a joke about programmers and sleep deprivation. Boom. again, see how fast it's running, and it's not killing my CPU. I mean, it's not doing great, and this video is probably going to lag on OBS. That's cool. Okay, so they call it sleep deprivation, but in reality, they're the ones who can't sleep. And if they can, and if they can't, they're the ones who can't do all the work. Okay. That's a pretty terrible joke. So the 0.6b model is not that smart, but it'll probably do this pretty well. Summarize the matrix poorly. It'll do that really well. So it thinks about it. So the thinking models try to work through how to respond to you. You can see it puts a lot of text, but after it's done thinking, it says the Matrix, as a poorly summarized concept, is a sci-fi story where the Matrix is the illusion of reality, and Neo, the protagonist, becomes the ultimate user of this illusion. It's a tale of reality and the power of perception, but lacks depth and structure. It's a vague, overly simplistic summary of the Matrix franchise. So you see it, you can use this like ChatGPT. You can ask it anything. Like, let's give it the old fashioned test here. How many R's are in the word strawberry? Strawberry. So it has to think a lot for this. Oh, it's gonna mess up. It only did 2 R's. Did I type it wrong? No, I typed it right. There's 3 R's in there. So the 0.6 model, not that smart. 0.6b. You can run something stronger if you want. I have gotten the 8 billion parameter model to run on the CPU. I just can't record at the same time. So anyways, let's give it a logic test. Do all cats like boxes? Give a Garfield example. All right. And it'll think through. And while this is going, you see my CPU is suffering. So you're really maximizing what you can do here. And yes, all cats like boxes. Garfield is a great example of this. Every cat has a box to play with, and Garfield's playful nature perfectly illustrates this. One last thing I want to show you that'll be very important in the next video is being able to access your WSL in Windows Explorer. It just makes it easier whenever you're editing Python files and stuff. So if you go here, go to Ubuntu, and home is the file where most things are under 0. This is where most things will go. That's where we're running right now, Ollama. So anyways, that's how you easily manage files from Windows, and why Linux Subsystem is great for development is just it's a fresh install. You don't have, and it works better on Linux. It just does. And there's not the full VM overhead if trying to run a virtual machine, and you get easy access to your files. And it's ideal for development, scripting, and AI tasks. If you need to uninstall, for some reason you don't like what we did, you're going to go back to PowerShell, and I got a few commands for you to run. You just WSL unregister Ubuntu. That gets rid of it. Then you want to run these 2 commands that are a little longer to completely turn off WSL and delete everything. And then you restart. Like the machine you just purged, I too will reboot. But you can find me in the meantime on Twitter at Randall_Dickman. And you can follow the project on Twitter at Byte and Slice for more broke genius AI breakdowns and griddle cooked wisdom. Also, if you liked it, subscribe and share it with someone who is running Python on a potato. Stay tuned because Byte and Slice is just getting warmed up. And also, if you could do me a favor, comment below anything that I can improve on. I know this isn't the best video ever, but I tried. Thank you.